My name is Bianca. Jenny Dame and I are collaborating on another video, and this time we actually met in person and went to my favorite place, Remainders Creative Reuse. I had a wonderful time shopping with her. We went and looked at so many things, including the pattern and fabric that I found for my pumpkin bag from a while ago. Hopefully by this time that video is going to be posted. So what we ended up doing is looking through our stash. We picked out some patterns that we each really want to make and some fabric that we have. Take the pictures and send it to each other. We will then pick what the other will make. So these are the items that I sent to Jenny and what Jenny selected. I sent her a few patterns and these three fabrics: florals, spiders, and little cats. Jenny selected the orange fabric with the little black cats and Butterick 3736. All right, so now that I have my pattern and my fabric, let's get started on making this dress. If you don't already follow her, please follow Jenny Dame. She is an extraordinary artist. She hand paints these beautiful skirts. They are inspired by Mexican hand painted skirts. I will link her information in the description below. Before we get to sewing, look at how cute Miss Chunky Monkey is, or Lady Chunkington. Oh, I love this little girl. She came into our lives in 2020, just like G. The cat distribution system was strong in 2020. All right, enough Lady Chunkington. Let's get back to sewing. We have Butterick 3736 and it is factory folded. So time to cut this up. Once that's all cut up, I grab some good old coffee and iron both my fabric and the pattern pieces. I'm going to be making view C of this pattern, which is the one with just one single ruffle, because I'm really nervous that I'm not going to have enough fabric. This is all the fabric that's left because, plot twist, I'm making my husband some shorts. I had enough fabric so I could cut this piece out. So we're gonna try this again, right? We're gonna have a dress for me and some shorts for him. If you saw that video, you know what happened there, and I'll link it up here for you to check it out at a later time. So I'm gonna be working on these two. So I'm gonna start with the skirt because it's a lot easier. It's a lot of rectangles. Here's the ruffle. Here's the skirt. The skirt does not have pockets, so I decided to make some. I'm gonna use some of like this fabric because I have extra. I don't have enough of this one to make pockets for this dress because I'm also making the thing for my husband, so let's get to it. I started pinning all of the pockets to the supposed right side, but as you see here, I am doing it wrong. And I'm doing it wrong because it's supposed to be right side to right side when you pin it on the skirt. I ended up having to unpick this, but thankfully the ruffles were fairly easy. It's just a couple of long rectangles that you pin on the sides, and what's not easy about that? So I grabbed all the easy parts to sew immediately. Alright, another thing about sewing these pockets, like I said, I did it wrong, so I had to unpick them, and then I laid them out what I thought was correct. So I'm over here pressing my pockets, and something just doesn't look right in this picture here. Why is one pocket at the bottom and the other one on the side? And the wild thing is, I don't realize it until 3, 2, 1. Oh my god. Oh my god. What the hell happened? Well, I went to get the seam ripper, unpicked this pocket, placed it on the right spot, facing the right way, and sewed it up. Now we have a skirt with pockets in the right direction. I'm understitching the pocket. This is something I learned from making my husband's shorts the last time, and it works really well, so 10 out of 10 would recommend. This is the long belt. It's just literally a really long, skinny rectangle. Wow. It's a really long, skinny rectangle made of 3 pieces, and I'm just turning this inside out. By this time, I got a third visitor, and this is G. So just figure it's a little cap break. We all need a little cap break. I'm moving into ruffling this skirt. I use my zigzag stitch over crochet thread and just start pulling this together and gathering it. Looks like a clown ruffle. Okay, now it's time to attach this to the skirt. So I pinned it, I sewed it, and this is what it looks like. This seam, this is how I ended up closing up that seam. I also decided to hem the skirt because I just didn't want to wait until the very end to do that. And with that, the skirt is finally done. It's a little long for my comfort or what I like, but I think it looks okay. Now onto the top, or the bodice. This is the back piece, and I'm working on the facing here. For the facing, I tend to do a zigzag stitch because I had trouble rolling it a 1/4 inch. So I just do a zigzag stitch, put them right sides together, and then understitch. I do the exact same thing for the front piece of the bodice. But one thing I want to note is usually when I've done facings, I have to sew the facings together and then I attach that to the bodice. Well, this one had me do the facings for the front and then facings for the back, as you just saw. And then I sew them at the seams, which creates like a weird bump that I wasn't used to. I don't know. This one was just a little bit weird. Once the facings are in, I gather the neck section and attach the neck binding. And I think this is like the first time that I'm using actual bias binding that I've made with a pattern. I think this actually turned out really nice. Once I'm done with that, as you see, the back piece has been scrunched. That's because I put some elastic per the instructions. So now I'm pinning this to the front piece and sewing it along those seams. But do you see what I mean about the facings? That's weird, right? Or did I need to open that and sew it all in one line? I don't know. It's odd. Now that the bodice is sewn to the skirt, I tried it on, and if I'm being honest, I wasn't feeling it. I think it's because it looks a little frumpy, but honestly, I have to trust the process and maybe put a better elastic on the back. But again, I'm going to trust the process and finish this dress. The last thing I really had to do was create a casing to put the last piece of elastic for the waist. And the dress is done. And then of course, I had to work on my husband's shorts, which, like I mentioned before, there's a whole video showing how I did that. So let's see how they turned out. And here's the final look. I think the dress turned out really cute. I do need to put better elastic in the back. As you see when I twirl, you can see it kind of fall. So I kind of either leave it as is and don't put a brassiere on, or just replace the elastic in the back. I really like how this dress looks with the bow on, and I could even wear a belt if that's something I choose. And look at how cute the pockets look. I really like how you could see it's just different and it's kind of like a little surprise in there. And now it's time to introduce my husband. He wanted to show you his awesome socks that we got at CatCon, and this is what we look together. I think these outfits turned out really great. Thank you, Jenny, for picking this out. I really do like how this looks. So remember to go check out Jenny's video so you could see what I picked out for her. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to give it a like and consider subscribing to see more videos like this one. I'll see you next time.